just incredible. Two. DJ Sour Milk.
One. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Yeah, it's Power 106.
Yes, sir.
Just incredible.
Sour Milk.
We the LA Leakers, and we got our family here tonight. Eric Bellinger.
Yo, what's good?
Easy
It's
call.
easy. Easy call.
What's up, man? Welcome to the Liftoff, bro.
Man, happy to be here once
Family.
again. You already know every time.
It's great to have you up on
Every
the show.
time.
You've been putting in so much work. I feel like, does he ever leave the studio?
No.
Nah.
it's always-
Nah. The studio is at the crib, so the crib is at the studio. Therefore, I'm always
You're
working.
getting the work in.
I'm
but
always working.
the nightlife in LA, I see you moving.
I had
around.
to move around. I had to realize that. I had to learn that because I like to just be in the studio only
Right.
at one point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And as I started to go out, I just looked at it from a different perspective.
Kind of watching what people are moving to.
Yeah, I'm doing homework. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at the reactions. I'm seeing how long it takes the crowd to respond to the record. Usually I'm noticing now if it don't go absolutely crazy within that, on the one, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, then it's like, oh, we got to switch the joints. So,
Right.
Just beat selection, it causes me to pay attention to a lot of more things that make more sense when I'm really trying to make a hit for the club.
Right, right.
Got to be in there.
And that's dope that you're willing to do that. Not just stuck in a way or just in a sense of you won't try new things,
Right?
Because you only want to do it your way.
Exactly.
Seems like you're always creating, always trying to push the agenda, push the limit.
Always.
So do you do a lot of recording after the club? Is that something you do? Or?
Man, you know what? That would probably be an even better vibe.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
I haven't tried that vibe yet.
Off a little Moet?
But yeah, exactly. But usually what I do is when I have a session, I'm gonna have the little boom boom, you know what I'm saying? Got the boom boom with the tree, you know what I'm saying? Got the drink.
Wait,
And I make
boom,
sure,
boom?
because at first when I was saying boom boom, I was like, all right, is this what we saying? Are we on the radio? Are we live? Is this thing on? I was like, you know what I'm saying? They had to edit it if they want to.
No, we got you.
But yeah. So yeah, I'm making sure I'm all the way in my zone because that's when I'm really able to just black out. You know what I'm saying? If anything's on my mind, if any text message or email or phone call that I didn't take care of or post that I wanted to get off or caption that I was still had in my head, I literally have to just clear everything because when I'm there, it's kind of like therapeutic for me, bro. It's like releasing things because I tend to hold a lot of stuff in just because who I am. I feel like I've always been a real private person, and the best way for me to really articulate the way that I truly feel is to write it down, is to sing it, is to put it in words. And I think that's what, really got me to where I am, just because of my way to actually try to lay out an entire execution of a plan or of a story or whatever it is, just in MP3 form.
Is that ever challenging for you, being that you are private, to express yourself so honestly on some of these songs? Like, do you ever really have to just sit back and go, do I want to do this?
Yeah, it is. It's some songs that are so personal. I haven't even put them out yet. I'm like, man, do I want everybody to get all that information? Just because it's the best way that I can, like I said, get it out. Some people have journals. I got an iTunes catalog that's to die for.
And what are some of the cuts on the new album? New album is out right now. Easy call.
Yes,
congratulations on the new project.
Thank
man.
you, thank you.
It's lighting up the city.
It's going crazy. It's doing exactly what I knew it would. You know what I'm saying? When we was back in the, the station the other day, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, watch what this album does. It did exactly that.
Talk that talk.
You feel me? And yeah, man, it's crazy. You feel me? 15 songs, 1 through 15, radio worthy, single worthy, a lot of different genres, a lot of different Eric Bellingers that you haven't heard. I got the R&B. I'm starting it off. Number 1 is R&B joint for the ladies. Straight up. No intro, straight to it. And after that, it's just party vibes. You know what I'm saying? It's real good playlist. Me and Neem really, took our time and, went back in on it a couple times and caught in different producers and caught in different writers and reached out to just incredible people, and this is, I would say, the project that I've worked with the most people on. Like we really had a lot of producers and writers and just submissions and, things that I was able to polish and mix in a sense. Even songs that were submitted, I got to take them to my world, which is another element that people are going to hear from me because it's different styles with my flavor on it.
That's right.
Aside from your own joints, you've actually written a lot as well.
Yeah.
Is there something that you've written that you've regretted giving up?
Man, the closest thing that I would say that I loved was probably Usher, the Let Me See joint. I just felt like that one really matched my tone, and it was the perfect mix of a falsetto that then went to a hook that was just aggressive, and back to a smooth hook. Like, that joint is just a vibe, a swag vibe. But it was also the first joint that actually got me in the door with Usher too. Yeah. It was that vibe. It was like, yo, Usher love this joint, you know what I'm saying? And now he wants you to come, he wants you to fly to Atlanta. And that joint did a lot for me just overall, you know what I'm saying? So it was a blessing.
I think there's a good point there to be taken, because there's a lot of artists that are trying to find their space, and just trying to break into the game. And I think it's dope that you said what you just said. What is your advice to young up and coming songwriters / artists who might not be in the best situation right now, but like you said, at any moment a door could open?
Man, so for me, when I first started off, anybody that was, working around the North Hollywood areas will let you know that I was in every studio every day, 10 sessions a day sometimes, driving to different places just to plant as many seeds as possible, to get the word out there about this guy, Eric Bellinger, who's a songwriter. I entered the game of service, you feel me, like of assistance to different people. So now that the tables have turned and it's, my time to get my shine, a lot more people are really willing to lend a helping hand because of the leverage that I built and the relationships that I've built. And now it's not like I'm just out here asking for favors. It's kind of like, yo, what can I do to help you, because you've done so much for myself and done so much for the culture and just the state of the R&B music industry as a whole. It's like I've given so much of my time, and I feel like now it's like so obvious that everybody is like, yo, let's let that kid get a shot. Let's see what he got to offer to the table. And I'm just glad I had the patience to not do nothing too crazy, you feel me, and just kind of waited my turn, because now I'm going to really be able to enjoy it in the full essence of what it was supposed to be and what it was intended to be, with my family, with my friends, with my close loved ones, independently, you know what I'm saying? Like, really, we waited it out. And it was a journey, but I think I learned so much along the way that, it was priceless.
Tell us a little more about your come up, man. Like, how long were you doing this before, you started to actually make money and really turn this into a career?
So 2002, man, I started music groups, like R&B groups, boy bands. Like, we was traveling all over the place and just doing shows. I did that for like 8 years, in and out of different groups, signed to different labels, not just on a small scale, but I've been signed to like Epic and Capitol and Interscope and all these different labels with the groups. When I got out of the groups, I started songwriting. That was like 2010, and I was just, like I said, in any studio you could think of, just writing. 2012, I put out like my first album that did pretty good, which was The Rebirth. And I think at that point, I was able to be booking shows. The I Don't Want Her was on The Rebirth. And it was dope, because that's when I actually figured out, like, okay, cool, here's some money. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many different things that you do that doesn't actually generate or monetize. So when I actually started doing the shows, at first they was for promo. Like, will you allow me to hold that mic? Then it became low. Like, yo, your songs is doing crazy. We want to, break you off. Boom, here's like 2 bands. You feel me? Here's like 35. Here's like 4. Then it got up 7. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? And I actually started, getting that bread per show. But the amount of time and the amount of years that I invested in myself, I'm like, fam, it's going to be a minute before I even break even, because I've sacrificed so much time. You feel me? So I just look at it like, I'm glad I was doing it for the love and not for the bread. You feel me?
And is there ever a point for you, on that path where you're just like, maybe this ain't for me? Maybe I should go get a regular 9 to 5.
Never. Because I know that gift is a serious one.
Yeah.
You feel me? When I'm making them songs, I'm not even thinking. Them songs coming out 5-10 minutes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they sounding like,
trust me, we've seen it. We've had front row seats, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I really don't even think. I just kind of let the words flow. Like I said, when I'm on that mic, I'm really just pouring out. Like, my engineer Reggie will be like, yo, you ready? When I get on the booth, you know what I'm saying, most times I don't have anything. But when he says record, it's like, for some reason, somehow, it just turns on, and I just know what to say, because the last line that I said, as long as I have one line, I'm good because it's a story. I'm not thinking. It's a simple story.
That's how the process kind of starts for you.
Exactly.
Man.
One line. I always be like waiting until I get that one line. When I get the one line, I'm like, let's go.
And is it?
And that's
all
I need.
You know, you think of. Does that one line come before you hear the music, before you hear the beat, or
usually never?
Oh, okay.
I usually hear the music and that tells me what to write. The chords, if it's a major chord, I know it's a happy vibe. If it's a minor chord, I'm going to make sure it's probably a sad or a dark vibe. You feel me? If it's a up-tempo beat, you feel me? It might be party. If it's a little bit slower, it might be a little bit more of a mood. So it's like a formula that I just stick to with the music. That's why all of the songs, it's a marriage, you feel me, between the lyric, the melody, and the actual beat, because it's birthed from the beat, you know. So
that's how the new album feels too, man.
The whole thing.
Just like that.
Thank you.
Now, with you being a student of the game, who's on Eric Bellinger's R&B Mount Rushmore? Who are some of those goats for you?
We gotta go with Brandy, Full Moon album, Brandy. Man, Usher. Yep. You know, for me, Jagged Edge was a huge part of my style, of my everything. You got Yolanda Adams, man, Kim Burrell, a lot of gospel, and I'm gonna throw Drizzy in there too, just because his approach be too crazy. Even though it's like a, you know what I'm saying, a newer artist, but I really, you know, I think a lot of the things that he's done has made me open up, like, because that's who, it's not really too much competition nowadays. It's like every album I feel like I'm just competing with the last one. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the creator. You feel me? I'm the one that I look to as myself, so I can't go out there and listen to nobody else's music and do it their own. So yeah, exactly. So when I'm hear Drake, it's always like, wow, this is how I feel. Like the first time I heard guys playing, it was like, it was immediately. It was like the second it came on, like, this is it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if that's the words, you knew the words.
2 times here.
That's what I'm saying. So, you know, I think that moment when you have in the club with your best friend, that moment is the best moment. Well, that's why you go to the club, you know what I'm saying, for that moment. And I feel like that, you know, the album Eazy Call is full of moments, it's full of memories, because that's what I love the most about Jagged Edge. I remember hearing it for the first time in the backseat of my uncle's car on the way to Skate Depot in Cerritos, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like these albums, you know, these songs, on this album, you know, if you're listening to it by yourself, if you're listening to it with somebody, the melodies are so sticky and so catchy that they'll help subconsciously remember what you were doing when you were listening to them. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
You spoke about you know, Jagged Edge, Brandy. If that was a one song that you could have written by any artist, what would have, like, which song would it have been? Any
artist? Man,
do you have a song that you're like, damn, I wish I would have written that?
Yeah, it's a lot of those. You know, for one song this would be interesting. But Kurt Cobain's, you know that joint, girl, I know how much you really want somebody.
Oh yeah,
want somebody
yeah.
that I'm trying to keep. Like the melodies on that was like,
crazy.
Ooh, you know what I'm saying? Came down, they took the Aaliyah, you know what I'm saying? When we hooked up, we sat down, made an agreement. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I don't know how many people caught that. I did, but yeah, man.
Okay, that's dope.
New features on the album too, which is out right now. Eazy Call.
Yeah.
We've got Dom Kennedy on the album.
Yeah, we got Dom Kennedy, man. We got Wale. We got Neo. We got Mace.
We got Mace on
We
the
got
album.
Tink, Mila J, Sammy, Chevy Woods, A.D., Scooty, just
a lot of the fam.
A lot of the fam, mostly all the fam. You know, I've been, you know, in the game a minute and kind of figured out what really works for me, and that is working with the people that rock with me and the people that I rock with. You feel me? That's the best way to get it done. That's the easiest way to get it done, and the most efficient, you know, because you out there with your family. If it come time to do whatever you need to do, shoot a video, get a post up, go do a show, your family is going to be the one that's right there with you.
And that says a lot about your music alone, man, because having Dom Kennedy on a record, he only does what he's passionate about. That's it.
Only.
So having, you know, someone like him on a record,
big stamp for me. For the LA culture, for my, you know, love for his music. That was like, you know, and he hits me from time to time just on just the craziest motivational text messages from Dom, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you shutting it down. Like, yo, and to hear that from him, you know what that is. So it's like, It feel good, you know, to have a bunch of my peers actually looking at me like, all right, cool, it's your time. Let me see what you got. Because like I said, I've always been little bro, you feel me, in the studio. Like, E, you got something? Let me see what you got in the studio. Let me see what you got in the booth. And now it's like, all right, cool. I'm trying to be the big homie when it come time to this music. It don't matter what size you are. I could be 5'7" or whatever. You feel me? I feel like Kendrick. That's how I feel when I see Kendrick on stage. I'm like, this little nigga like 5'6", he looking like a lion. You feel me? And I think the hunger and, you feel me, the confidence that he has in himself is his height. You feel me? It's his size. And I feel like the same thing goes for me. And I think that might be just something that, you know what I'm saying, is Compton grown. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's right. What else is on the agenda for 2018? It's already off to a great start for you.
Man, tour. Yeah. Tour, man. I can't wait to, you know, combine, you know, the international shows and the, you feel me, U.S. shows that I've been doing. I usually go kind of do it separate, but I feel like this time we're going to just make it a real big run, you know, in the summer, you know, springtime, summer. And, you know, I'm just excited because I got all these new joints and it's songs that I wrote, you know, with the intention on turning up at the shows. So the beats are already, you feel me, club ready. The R&B joints is the mood and the vibes for the future. You feel me? Like, I just know what it is and I know what to do, man. It's simple, man. Yeah. Would you do a collab album with anyone? R&B? Yeah, man, I got some in the works. I probably got like 2-3 collab albums that I just been kind of putting together with different people just off of the chemistry and being in a studio for so much. Naturally, you look up and you like, bro, we got like 8 joints already, or yo, we got like 7 joints, like, you know what I mean? So I'm definitely, you know, in the process of trying to figure out just what's the right one, you know what I'm saying, to do first, and, you know, just kind of following the album, you feel me, following the singles, following the fans, you know, and, you know, what they feeling. And, you know, it's incredible to have the different platforms that we do now with the streams to just look like, oh, that's the one they rock with, you know what I'm saying?
Is Tory Lanez any of these collaboration albums that you're talking
about? Negative. His instrumental was the only thing necessary for.
Yo, listen, bro.
For the shot.
What has to happen for that to be resolved, man? Because you guys are both great artists. Obviously, you're family.
Thank you.
Listen, you have our full support always.
Thank you, bro.
But I mean, I hate to see 2 artists that I'm a fan of not get along. Or you know, whatever. Like, what needs to happen for that to clear up?
I feel like it don't matter for me, because I'm like, yo, that's how he feel. You feel me? Like, he did the joint, he did the interviews, and this is how I feel. I did the songs, you feel me? I did the interviews, whatever it is, and I think whatever comes of that, organically is cool. You feel me? Like, I don't mean for it to go past the music. I just want to, like, okay, cool, you put out a song, I'm gonna put out a song. Let me see what you do now, because you went first. You know what I'm saying? So I responded, so now it's his turn. If he continues it, it's gonna continue. If he chill, it's just gonna chill, because it's not, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like a lot of people heard the record and it was so much aggression, but when I was in the booth, I was really mad. You feel me? I was like feeling away at the time, and, you know, hearing things that he was saying, and, you know, combining it with the joint, you know what I mean? It was like, all right, cool, this is actually on his album. This isn't like a throwout that he did, you know? So he actually took the time in the studio to. So it's like, all right, cool.
That means more, right? That it's on the body of work that lives forever.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, exactly. So,
but part of that has to kind of be flattering, right? You know, that
exactly.
he would take the time to do
exactly.
that and put it on.
So I'm like, am I irrelevant, or do you got time today at the studio? Are we barbecuing or are we grilling? You feel me?
Just to be clear, there's other rounds where that came from.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just like, all right, cool. If he put out another, you know what I'm saying? My studio, like I said, is at the crib, and the crib is at the studio.
Ain't
so
nothing to hop out the bed.
It's nothing, and that's what I'm saying. You feel me? If he puts something out, you feel me? I'm gonna head straight to the lab. You feel me? It's all fun. You feel me? It's all the music. It's competitive. It's what the game's been missing. I feel like, you know, anytime there's any type of, you know, competitive or combative form of the game, like, you know, Kendrick and the Control verse. I always like to refer to that because it just wakes people up. It's like, oh, what did he say? It's a different type of hunger as opposed to when you're just in the studio and you're making music. When you actually are speaking directly to somebody or you got something to say, it's going to be a lot more relevant. It's going to penetrate a lot more because the intention was there for it to. When I seen the reaction of Yikes and how crazy it was going, oh, I knew it was going to go crazy. I was only going for that's the R&B ether. That's the R&B hit 'em up. That's the R&B, you feel me? Because otherwise, what are we doing it for? And that's with everything that I do, you feel me? So it just goes, you know, that's just what it is, bro.
Yeah, man. Eazy Call, the album is out now everywhere. Eric is always family.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to watch your career continue to grow and grow.
Thank
from
you.
The early sessions you spoke about in the interview to the spotlight being right on you like you deserve, man.
Thank you, man. Same with y'all, bro. You already know we all started together the same time. I remember going to the clubs with y'all like, yo, where you at tonight? I'm pulling up, you know what I'm saying? And just to chill there and to, like I said earlier, the Vegas shows and I see y'all on billboards. Man. It's like it's all of our time, you know what I'm saying? And I don't ever want it to, you know, go without being said that, you know, y'all going crazy. We all going crazy. FaceTime, go listen to that if you ain't heard it. That song is crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. You feel me? Like, and it's interesting because I see that the music it's not only just about the music, you feel me? And I had to learn that, you know what I'm saying? Like, the way that I feel about my music, I really feel like, fam, I'm in another league, bruh. When people go ahead and get the time in and break down what I'm doing inside them harmonies, 3-part, then I break out and I split into a different 2-part, minor chord, drop the beat, come back on a 1-2. Come on, bro. I don't be playing in there. So it's like, it's not about that. It's about everything else, you feel me? Everything else around it. Why should I listen to your music? Not your music is hard, so I'm going to dig into your life. You got to get my attention first before I can even press play, you feel me? So I think now that I've learned that, it allows me to create with less care about what's right or wrong, you feel me? And just what I feel is crazy. You know, like I said, what I was saying about myself, those are my opinions, you feel me, about my music. Everybody's entitled to their own. And that's the way I feel also like about FaceTime. That song is crazy. There's no reason that the quality of the song shouldn't be number one. Feel me? It's like, it's always like, damn, the song is crazy. But it's just so much other things. So I just, you know, want to expand on just being comfortable and being in your own vibe and not caring about, you know, what nobody else is on. Because as long as you are satisfied and happy with everything you got going on, there's no way anybody can knock you off your swag.
Real facts, man.
That's a nice way to end the interview.
That's right.
Easy call.
Eric Bellinger, LA Leakers.
Yeah.
Power 106, #1 for hip hop. Yeah.